Have you ever wondered why some people seem to age gracefully while others struggle with their health after 50? The secret might be hiding right in your kitchen. What you put on your plate could be the difference between vibrant golden years and decades of preventable health issues. But here's what the food industry doesn't want you to know. The foods marketed to seniors are often the exact opposite of what your aging body actually needs. Today, I'm going to reveal the shocking truth about which foods should never leave your table after 50 and why your doctor probably hasn't told you about number 7. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell because this information could literally add years to your life. Your body at 50 is not the same machine it was at 30. Your metabolism has slowed down by nearly 30%. Your bones are quietly losing density. Your muscles are shrinking without you even noticing. And your digestive system, it's working overtime just to extract the nutrients it used to absorb effortlessly. But here's the twist. While your body becomes less efficient, it actually needs more of certain nutrients, not less. It's like trying to run a high-performance car on regular gas. This paradox is exactly why most people over 50 feel tired, achy, and foggy, even though they think they're eating healthy. The foods I'm about to share aren't just recommendations. They're your insurance policy against the silent decline that starts creeping in during your 50s. Let's start with something that sounds too delicious to be this powerful. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't fat supposed to be bad? Here's where conventional wisdom gets it completely wrong. After 50, your brain starts shrinking at a rate of about 5% per decade. That's terrifying, right? But omega-3 fatty acids found in these fish literally slow down brain aging. Studies show that people who eat fatty fish twice a week have a 40% lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. But it gets better. These same omega-3s reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, which is the root cause of almost every age-related disease you can think of. Your joints hurt less, your heart works better, your skin looks younger. One 70-year-old patient told me she felt like she'd turned back the clock 10 years just by adding salmon to her diet 3 times a week. The catch? Not all fish are created equal, and farm-raised versus wild-caught makes a massive difference that could either heal you or harm you. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. Dark leafy greens like kale, spinach, and collard greens are basically nature's multivitamin, but on steroids. After 50, your body's ability to absorb certain vitamins drops dramatically, especially vitamin K, which most people have never even heard of. But here's what's wild. Vitamin K is absolutely critical for keeping calcium in your bones and out of your arteries. Without enough of it, the calcium you're taking for bone health could actually be hardening your arteries instead. That's right. Your bone health supplement could be increasing your heart attack risk. Leafy greens are loaded with vitamin K, plus they contain compounds that literally turn on your body's detoxification genes. 1 cup of cooked spinach has more calcium than a glass of milk, more iron than red meat, and antioxidants that protect your eyes from the macular degeneration that affects 1 in 3 people over 75. If you're not eating at least 2 servings of leafy greens every single day, you're basically driving without a seatbelt. And if you think iceberg lettuce counts, I've got news for you that might shock you. I want you to pause right now and think about what you ate yesterday. How many of these foods were on your plate? If you're realizing you're missing most of them, don't worry, you're not alone. 70% of people over 50 are unknowingly malnourished despite eating plenty of calories. That's why you need to keep watching, because the next food on this list is probably sitting in your pantry right now, but you've been eating it completely wrong. Drop a comment below telling me which of these foods you already eat regularly, and I'll reply with a pro tip on how to maximize its benefits. Berries, especially blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries, are like tiny medicine capsules disguised as dessert. Here's something your doctor probably doesn't know. Berries contain compounds called anthocyanins that can reverse cellular aging at the DNA level. I'm talking about actual age reversal, not just slowing down the process. Research from Harvard studied over 16,000 women and found that those who ate the most berries delayed cognitive aging by up to 2.5 years. But here's the kicker. Berries are one of the few foods that actually get healthier when frozen. The freezing process breaks down cell walls and makes the antioxidants more bioavailable. So that bag of frozen blueberries in your freezer, it might actually be more nutritious than fresh ones. Berries also spike your blood sugar less than almost any other fruit, which is crucial because after 50, your insulin sensitivity drops and your diabetes risk skyrockets. One handful of berries a day could be the difference between needing medication or not. The question isn't whether you should eat berries, it's why aren't you eating them at every single meal? Let me tell you about the food that cardiologists eat every single day, but somehow forgot to tell their patients about: nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds. These tiny powerhouses are packed with nutrients that specifically target the health issues that plague people over 50. After 50, your body produces less natural lubrication everywhere, your skin dries out, your joints creak, even your eyes get dry. The healthy fats in nuts and seeds solve this from the inside out. But here's what's really fascinating. Eating just 1 ounce of nuts 5 times per week reduces your risk of dying from heart disease by nearly 40%. That's better than most medications, with zero side effects and bonus benefits for your brain, your bones, and your blood sugar. Walnuts in particular have been shown to improve the diversity of gut bacteria, which controls everything from your mood to your immune system. But there's a catch that nobody talks about. How you store and prepare nuts completely changes whether they help or harm you. Rancid nuts, which you probably can't even taste, create inflammation instead of reducing it. Now we're getting into territory that might make you uncomfortable, but stick with me because this could revolutionize your health. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut. After 50, about 70% of your immune system lives in your gut, and the health of your gut determines whether you thrive or just survive. Here's what's happening inside your body right now. You probably have about half the beneficial gut bacteria you had in your 20s. This bacterial decline is linked to everything from depression to diabetes to dementia. Fermented foods don't just add good bacteria, they actually feed and strengthen the beneficial bacteria you already have. One study found that people who ate fermented foods daily had significantly lower levels of inflammation markers, better cholesterol numbers, and even lost weight without trying. But here's the shocking part. Most commercial yogurt has about as much sugar as a candy bar, and the bacteria are often dead by the time you eat them. The difference between real fermented foods and the processed versions in your grocery store could mean the difference between transformation and wasted money. And no, those probiotic pills are not the same thing. If this information is resonating with you, do me a favor right now. Share this video with someone over 50 who you care about. Your parents, your friends, your spouse. This isn't just information. It's a roadmap to healthier aging that most people will never discover. And make sure you're subscribed because next week I'm revealing the 5 foods that are specifically poisoning people over 50, even though they're labeled as healthy. You won't want to miss that. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, and other legumes are the most underrated longevity food on the planet. In every blue zone, those rare places where people routinely live past 100, legumes are a daily staple. But why? After 50, your muscle mass naturally decreases by about 1 to 2% per year, a condition called sarcopenia. This muscle loss is what makes people frail, prone to falls, and dependent on others. Protein stops this decline, but here's the problem. Animal protein often comes with saturated fat and cholesterol that your aging cardiovascular system doesn't need. Legumes give you high-quality protein with fiber, resistant starch, and minerals that most people over 50 are deficient in, especially women. 1 cup of lentils has more protein than an egg, more iron than a steak, and more potassium than a banana, plus it costs about 30 cents. People who eat legumes 4 times a week have a 22% lower risk of heart disease and a 38% lower risk of developing diabetes. The fiber in legumes also feeds those good gut bacteria we talked about earlier, creating a cascade of health benefits throughout your entire body. This might be the most controversial food on this list: eggs. For decades, we've been told that eggs cause high cholesterol and heart disease. But here's the truth that recent research has uncovered. For most people, dietary cholesterol has almost no impact on blood cholesterol levels. Your liver actually produces about 75% of the cholesterol in your body, regardless of what you eat. Meanwhile, eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense foods on Earth, containing every single vitamin and mineral your body needs, except vitamin C. After 50, you need significantly more choline, a nutrient that prevents memory loss and keeps your liver healthy. One egg has more choline than almost any other food. Eggs also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that specifically accumulate in your eyes and prevent cataracts and macular degeneration. The protein in eggs is so perfectly balanced that it's used as the gold standard to measure all other proteins. But here's what matters. The quality of the egg matters enormously. Eggs from pasture-raised chickens have up to 3 times more omega-3s and vitamins than conventional eggs. That orange yolk isn't just prettier, it's literally a different food nutritionally. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage belong to a family called cruciferous vegetables, and they contain compounds that literally reprogram your genes to fight cancer. After 50, your cancer risk increases exponentially every year. In fact, age is the single biggest risk factor for cancer. Bigger than smoking, bigger than genetics. But here's what's incredible. Cruciferous vegetables contain sulforaphane, a compound that activates your body's natural detoxification enzymes and actually causes cancer cells to self-destruct while leaving healthy cells alone. Studies show that people who eat cruciferous vegetables at least 3 times per week cut their cancer risk in half. These vegetables also support estrogen metabolism, which is crucial for both men and women over 50 as hormones shift and change. They reduce inflammation, support liver detoxification, and even help prevent osteoporosis by providing vitamin K and calcium. And this is critical, how you cook these vegetables determines whether you get these benefits or destroy them completely. Boiling cruciferous vegetables destroys up to 90% of the beneficial compounds, while steaming or eating them raw preserves them. Sweet potatoes are the perfect carbohydrate for people over 50, and here's why. As you age, your blood sugar regulation becomes less efficient, putting you at higher risk for diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Sweet potatoes have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't spike your blood sugar like white potatoes or bread, but they're loaded with beta-carotene, which your body converts to vitamin A, essential for immune function, vision, and skin health. One medium sweet potato has over 400% of your daily vitamin A needs. They're also rich in potassium, which helps control blood pressure that naturally rises with age. The fiber in sweet potatoes feeds beneficial gut bacteria and keeps you regular, which becomes increasingly important as digestive motility slows down after 50. What's fascinating is that sweet potatoes are one of the few foods that actually becomes more nutritious when cooked, as cooking breaks down the cell walls and makes the nutrients more bioavailable. The purple and orange varieties contain different antioxidants, so eating a variety gives you even more benefits. People in Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's blue zones, eat sweet potatoes as their primary carbohydrate and have some of the longest lifespans on Earth. So there you have it. 9 foods that should never be missing from your table if you're over 50. But knowing this information means nothing if you don't act on it. Here's your challenge. Pick 3 of these foods that you don't currently eat regularly and add them to your diet this week. Start small, build the habit, and watch how your energy, your clarity, and your overall health transforms. The truth is, aging doesn't have to mean declining. The choices you make at 50 determine your quality of life at 70, 80, and beyond. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Now, I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Which ones are you committing to add to your diet? And if you found this valuable, smash that like button and subscribe, because I'm releasing a new video next week about the biggest nutritional mistakes people over 50 make that actually accelerate aging. You've invested 13 minutes in learning how to eat for longevity. Now invest 13 seconds to subscribe so you don't miss the next life-changing video. Remember, it's never too late to start taking care of your health, but it's also never too early.